Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville taking to X with these photos, writing that he enjoyed meeting with Linda McMahon. She's a strong advocate for school choice and the right person to clean out the bureaucratic nightmare of the Department of Education.
Senator Tommy Tuberville joining us now live here. Good to see you, Senator. Thanks so much for coming on. Can you talk to us about this meeting and her stance, maybe that you've heard on biological men competing in women's sports, protecting Title IX? It's something that we've been focusing on here on National Report for quite some time.
Yeah, well, first of all, Linda's a huge advocate, fierce advocate for student and parent rights. Merrick Garland tried to take that away from the parents and the students going into the high schools or universities. So that's number one. That's one thing I wanted to get across, but she's big on that. You know, I spent 35 years in coaching and education. I've seen the downgrade and the huge bureaucracy of the Department of Education. It's out of control. You just talked about the men and women's sports. I can't believe we even have to even talk about this, but it's unfortunate we're to this point, but she understands the problems with men and women's sports, how it's going to destroy Title IX. It's the best thing to ever come out of Washington, D.C. to help young girls and women be able to compete and get scholarships and enhance their life. But I really like the school choice part. Give these young men and women in these inner cities who are not getting any education at all because of the teachers' unions and the bad teachers and administrators, give them a chance for a future. Give them school choice. Let them go to a school that they know they can get a good education.
Yeah, especially if you've got taxpayer, you want those funds to actually follow the student instead of having to go to a public school that maybe doesn't align with what they're expecting for their child or align with their values. I wanted to pivot to this because it's not just Title IX that's getting involved with the debate over biological men in women's sports. The Ladies Professional Golf Association has weighed in, essentially banning biological males who've gone through puberty but identify as transgender athletes from competing against biological females. This is a major update to the organization's gender policy for competition eligibility. And I know the words kind of get confusing, but they're keeping men who had gone through puberty from competing against women. Is this sort of a right direction? Do you think we've moved past sort of this confusion about men and women's sports?
Alert to the LPGA. This is like putting lipstick on a pig. There's no way any biological man or boy should compete against women in anything. It's unfair. They do not have the same physical attributes. We do not need to go down this road. Now, it's a start that we're starting to recognize the difference. But it's even amazing to me that we even have to even talk about this again. They do not deserve to play against women and girls that have practiced all their life when they have an opportunity to have an advantage in anything physically in any kind of sport, especially golf.
Yeah, again, you'd have to remove the ladies' tees. How would that even work? Obviously, driving the ball is much different. Not to forget, Senator, you're also a former coach for a long time, a very successful one at that. So knowing a thing or two about competition, particularly with men's sports. I also understand you want to pass the fiscal year 2025 National Defense Authorization Act. We bring this up because under this act, the government would slash funding for gender transition surgeries and diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the military. Why is that needed? Do you see this succeeding?
Well, it really doesn't make any difference what's in the NDAA, which, by the way, is the military budget. To try to put language in there to stop any kind of nonsense like this, because when Pete Hegseth gets in, it's over anyway. When Donald Trump gets in, it's over. There's going to be executive orders. There's going to be demands from the White House, from the Pentagon. Enough of this woke policies, enough of destroying the military, education, anything with any of these policies, they're going to be gone. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, that is Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville joining us this morning. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.